Hello and welcome to your world right here on 3K TV. This is a show that looks at all things money markets and investment. My name is Adiva Machiso Gwenzi, and today on the show we turn our spotlight on a key pillar of economic growth, the real estate industry, from employment creation to investment opportunities. Now, the property market continues to shape Zimbabwe's economic landscape, and to help us unpack these and more, I'm joined in studio by one lovely lady from House of Stone Agency.
Yes, House of Stone Property.
Yeah, and this is Miss Leonita Mishi. Thank you so much for joining us today.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Wonderful. Now let's get straight to the questions. And my first question for you is, the real estate sector is often described as a pillar of economic stability. Can you share with us how the real estate industry contributes to Zimbabwe's economy?
Oh yes, thank you so much for that. The real estate industry generates revenue through property sales, property management, and taxes as well.
Okay.
It also brings in direct foreign investment, thereby contributing towards the economic growth.
Oh, wonderful. And now you talk about taxis and everything. Now let's talk about how the real estate is driving employment in Zimbabwe, and what kind of job opportunities does it create? Do people actually go to school to become agents?
Yes, you actually need to go to school for any industry because you have to know what you're doing. You have to know what you're talking about. So the real estate industry is a big employer in terms of construction and real estate as agents, property valuations. You've got supporting structures like landscapers. You've got architects and engineers. So it's actually a big industry which affects employment creation and thereby aiding other people to get into the sector.
Oh yeah, I also like how you unpacked the real estate industry as a whole, because when we're talking to agents or people from the real estate industry, we just think of rentals, sales. Now there's construction involved, there's property development involved. Thank you so much for that. And now my next question would be, real estate is not just about players, like we've just highlighted. There's room for entrepreneurs too. I wonder how that is like. What avenues exist for aspiring entrepreneurs looking to ventures into the space?
There's so many avenues. I think just what I've just mentioned, if you want to get into the real estate industry, just look for a niche. You can even cater to landscaping. You can cater. There's a lady who's doing exploits on Facebook. She's doing interior design.
Oh yes.
She's doing amazing work.
So that also falls under real estate.
That also falls under real estate because this is supporting services.
Okay.
So you can be a real estate agent. You can be a valuer. You can anything that you can do in terms of immovable property.
Okay.
You can do marketing. You can do online marketing as well, which is very much in demand at the moment.
Okay. But I'm just going to ask you this. Which, I don't know what to call it, is it a sector, but which part of real estate pays more?
Oh, wow.
Is it the supporting structures or the selling of houses or rentals? Which one pays more? Because people would want to get into something that gives them more money.
I always say don't get into any industry looking at the dollar sign.
Okay.
For me, real estate is a service.
Okay.
At the end of the day, the fulfillment that I get, yes, the money aspect is there. It's very, very good when it comes to monies. When you calculate the commissions, they're very good. But there's a lot that goes into it. It's not just about the commission. It's about creating relationships, the network, and what you get at the end of the day.
All right.
So yes, the real estate sector has got very nice monetary value. You will and can make a lot of money, but you have to stay within the course.
All right. You also said that there's so much that is put into it before someone can start making these dollars. Maybe just to guide entrepreneurs, what would you say are the key steps into getting started in real estate investment?
Research.
All right.
Research. Know the market trends. Know the regulations, the laws. have a very good business plan and set your goals and financial projections and stick to your goals.
All right.
And for the long haul, stick to your goals. You can also, in terms of networking, network with industry players, network with colleagues within the industry, and just know what you're doing. Go to school, educate yourself. Be familiar with, even if you're not a lawyer, but be familiar with the laws and the regulations that are continuously changing in the country.
Beautiful, very profound, statements you have said there. She talked about, researching. She spoke about getting knowledge about the industry. Well, with that, we're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we're going to talk more on the real estate industry. Welcome back to Your World, and today we are talking all things real estate with the lovely lady, Miss Leonita. Now, before the break, we were talking about how entrepreneurs can get into the real estate industry. And last month, which was March, we were celebrating Women's Month, and we would like to know some of the trailblazers in the real estate industry. Are there any women like yourselves who we can look up to, who young women can look up to and say, you know what, I'm inspired to get into the industry?
Oh, thank you, Hadija. Yes, there's so many women that are trailblazing in real estate. Just to mention a few, Patience Patonga Moyo.
Wow.
Fierce lady leading Asif Properties. We've got Charity Matambanazo leading Darwin Properties. We've got Lucille Properties. There's so many, we've got our elders in real estate. Ms. Aquilina Lijiboa, she's been around for ages.
Wow.
And we're not just talking about women that are heading real estate agencies. There are others also heading parastatals and private sectors in terms of real estate. There's so many, I can never mention them all by name, but Karen, Fine & Country, we've got agents like B.D. Relton, fierce and lovely lady. And I love how women are also coming together to work together, to partner together. And us women, we're known to pull each other down. But I'm so happy that we work well together, we mentor each other. And if there's anything that you need, you're free to ask any of them, and they're always willing to help.
Wow.
So I'm really happy with what's going on with women in real estate.
Wow. This is a sector that I would really look into joining, because when you talk about women working well together, this is very exemplary. Now, let's talk about some of the challenges that these women face. I know across the board there are so many challenges, but what are some of the challenges that ladies face when they get into real estate?
Like you mentioned, each industry has got challenges. But in terms of real estate, it's a male-dominated industry. So the cultural barriers, you've got stereotyping, access to finance. If you want to start your own real estate agency, you need a bit of capital. So that access to finance is a challenge to women. Most women do not own properties, so just getting the collateral to apply to the banks, that's a major challenge to women. But there's so many that I can mention, but I think those are my top 3.
Oh, okay. Now let's talk about some of the aids, or industry is now different these days across the board because of the introduction of social media and technology. How are people in the real estate industry using technology, to sort of just aid them for their work to become a little better?
Oh, it's a global village, and everything is now online, and with AI in our faces, you really need to be up to date with the technology.
Yes.
So in real estate, we see a lot of virtual videos for our clients that are overseas. Even here, you get to have clients that are busy, so you send them your virtual tours, and we're using our drone footage. So we're really stepping up in terms of technology. Yes.
Oh yeah, still talking about technology, social media. I think there's certain challenges that you face as real estate people, because there on social media your credibility sometimes is questionable, because there's also an introduction of bogus agents, if I can call them that. What can you say to people who go online and search for agents? How can they research more, or what kind of due diligence do they need to do so that they don't meet up with such people?
I always advise my clients and everybody listening to do your research. Phone Estate Agents Council. Do a background check. Whether it's a registered agent or not, do a background check on that person. Never part with your money before you're actually fully satisfied that everything is being done above board. Yes, we've got a lot of bogus agents, but I'm happy that our mother body, State Agents Council, is really stepping up when it comes to that.
Okay.
So the advantages of you using a registered agent is you are covered should anything happen by the compensation certificate, the fund. So I would urge everybody not to just part with your money and not to just believe. Go beyond what you see, the face value, and dig a little bit deeper.
Okay.
And see what the person does and get references, even the agencies as well, get references. But you can never cover everything, but do the best that you can.
At least do something,
Do
right?
something, but then nothing.
Okay. I know you spoke about like a regulatory body that you have in the sector now, but we still have informal agencies in the sector as well. What are some of the negative impact that the informal sector poses to the formal real estate agencies that are around?
There's so many. I think I've mentioned a few, but there's so many. We have seen even in the newspapers, you use bogus agents and they cut corners. You get to see sellers who say, I don't want to pay commission, so they will use the bogus agent. But what they don't understand is they're not covered legally by the mother body, by the law, if should anything happen. So they must also be wary of who they use. And we, as registered agents, it's always good to deal with people that are regularized. We deal with people that know the law and that will protect your interests. Because immovable property is not something that you just buy every single day. It's an investment of a lifetime. You can buy 2 or 3 houses in your lifetime, but you can buy just one. So I would urge everybody to just be wise with your money, be wise with your investment, and use registered agents.
Wow, thank you so much for that. Be wise with your money. If you cut corners, it will negatively impact you in the future. Well, with that, we're going to take a short break. And when we come back, she's going to give us more wisdom about real estate. Welcome back to the final segment of Your Wealth right here on 3K TV. And we've been talking about all things real estate. And we've got an expert in the studio. I'll call you that because with all the information that you've been sharing with us, we've become knowledgeable about the industry. Now let's move on with our next question. Is this a good time to invest in real estate? And which sector exactly? Industrial, commercial? What would be your advice?
It is a good time to invest. There's a demand for housing, both in urban and rural areas. There's high demand for office space, so commercial as well. There is demand for manufacturing. I think we have seen a lot of foreigners coming in to invest, so even in the industrial sector. So it is a good time to invest in real estate at the moment. So across the board.
Across the board.
Across the board. Residential being the top one, but all of them are very good at the moment.
Even rural areas, because I know people when they want to invest, they're looking at buying properties, in the capital. the rural areas? You've got people buying, is it for agricultural purposes or actually homesteads?
It's for both, but rural land is state land, so it's not for sale.
Okay.
But people are developing their rural homesteads, and they're actually, I love what's going on because it's like rural tourism. It's real estate tourism. People are building very beautiful places in their rural areas. So I would encourage people to also do that and move away from the norm that we have always known and start investing in your rural areas as well.
Wonderful. Well, now, moving on to the next question. When we're talking about real estate in Zimbabwe, what is your outlook? What do you think real estate in Zimbabwe will be like for the next few years?
In terms of economic growth, it also affects the real estate industry positively. So, and real estate, what I love about real estate is it always appreciates in value, never depreciates, hardly depreciates.
Okay.
So the outlook is very good. We're very optimistic, and we're always positive that our economy will stabilize and will grow, thereby also attracting foreign investment, which will directly and indirectly contribute to our economic growth.
Well, now looking at globally, how competitive are we as Zimbabweans, with regards to the real estate industry? You spoke about foreign investors, people coming in to buy property in Zimbabwe from, different countries. Is it because now we've got beautiful houses compared to other countries, or we are right there where they are? What can you say about that?
We are very competitive. But there's always this question that is posed: is Zimbabwean property market very unpleasantly high in terms of value and the selling prices compared to South Africa? It's always a question that we get, whether it's on social media or talking to clients. But you know what? There's so many factors that go into an appraisal or valuation of properties.
Okay.
And I love what the developers are doing now. They're building eco-friendly units, beautiful, and we're densifying as well. So we're used to having so much land, but because of the housing list, the developers are coming up with very nice modern architecture, and also taking into effect the environment, the climate change. I think you have seen properties like from West Properties, they really go an extra mile when it comes to eco-friendly properties. So we are competing with the global runners, but we are up there. We are up there.
Beautiful. You spoke earlier on, you spoke about how people can actually go to school to study about this. Maybe there's someone watching, they're still in school, and they are wondering, okay, so what kind of qualification would I need to become part of the real estate industry? What can you tell them? What should they study? Maybe there's someone who's in Form 4 looking into, I want to go to my A-levels, I need to select the subjects that I will do because I'm focusing on getting into real estate.
The universities, especially University of Zimbabwe, you've got NUST, you also have Great Zimbabwe. They offer degrees in real estate and management, and they're different degrees. You can also approach RAISE. They also offer a degree and certificates that can help you to just get into the real estate. The Estate Agents Council is also offering the negotiators course, which one can do. And anything, in real estate, it takes passion. We've got lawyers who are agents. We've got accountants who are agents. So if you've got a passion for real estate, a passion for people, a passion for what you do, you can make it in real estate. No matter what degree you have, you can make it in real estate.
No matter what degree you have, you can make it in real estate. Now, lastly, what advice would you give to young women? I know we spoke about young women, but I would want you to just give us more information. You started a while ago, and you probably throughout your journey, you probably faced challenges. So right now, maybe there's someone who's already in the real estate industry. They've had 1 month, 4 months, no sell. So what advice can you give them, so that they can stay and become viable in the business?
Stay focused. Stay focused on your goal.
Stay focused on your goal.
Yes, stay focused on your goal. Real estate industry is a tough industry to be in. I see a lot of young men and women getting into real estate after looking at the commission and start calculating the commission before the transaction is even completed. That one is just a crazy one, but a lot of agents do that. And there's mental health. So you have to be prepared. That's why I'm saying stay focused. Even if you go for 4 months without a sell, the 5th month you will sell. And when you sell, be wise with your money.
Okay.
Because you might also go for another 4 months without selling. It's strictly commission based. You're not on a salary. So it's like you're running a franchise, your own business within a business.
Okay.
So you have to stay focused, know how to use your money, and get a very good mentor, get good partnerships. Don't go in it alone. Go in with someone who believes in you and who can see your potential.
All right. I know I said that was the last question, but how do you, maybe someone comes in, joins your agency, how then do you empower them? Do you guys have trainings often, or how do you empower them so that they can stay focused and also for them to use their money wisely? How do you do it?
I always thank God we've got a very good team. You must have a very good team. When they join our agency, especially our agents, we believe in training. We don't believe in experience, but we believe in building you and making sure whatever we see inside exudes outside.
Okay.
So we offer trainings, theory and practical. Because it's one thing to go to school to learn about real estate, but it's another thing to be practical about it and show a house and be knowledgeable about the regulations and the laws. So we offer everything from advertising, from billboards, from online advertising, websites. So we're really out there to help our agents grow. I can give you an example of one of our top sellers. She was very quiet, just, seeing what's going on. And after a year, she went for a year without selling.
Oh my goodness.
But because we believed in her potential, we invested a lot in her. But when she started selling, oh my goodness, there's no stopping her. And she is like our top seller every month.
Top seller every month?
Every month.
After
and
1 year without selling anything?
She's in her 60s.
Wow.
But she's amazing. All our team at House of Stone Properties, we've got a very good head of sales as well. He manages the agents pretty well. So you need that guidance as well. Someone who's going to take you by the hand and walk with you, which is what we do.
Beautiful, beautiful. I was so inspired by that story. And once again, I'd like to say thank you for coming through to your world and sharing all your experiences and everything that you have learned in your journey with real estate.
Thank you for having me again.
Well, that was Ms. Leonita giving us insights on what happens in the real estate industry. Thank you so much for watching Your World right here on 3K TV. Make sure you join us for the next show for more insights about your wealth.